Give it up for the old guys. 54-year-old Mike Tyson set to step back in the ring on Saturday night to face 51-year-old Roy Jones Jr. in an 8-round exhibition at Staples Center in L.A. When Tyson was 20, he became the youngest boxer to ever win a heavyweight title. 44 of his 50 career wins were via knockout. Tyson hasn't fought since losing to Kevin McBride in 2005. Roy Jones Jr., a little fresher, former 4-division world champ, last fought in 2018. Both fighters will wear larger gloves, won't wear headgear. Rounds will be just 2 minutes in length. Let's break it down. Welcome in CBS Sports combat analyst and co-host of Morning Combat, Brian Campbell. The combined age of Tyson and Jones Jr. is 105. BC, if I had told you back when the year started, we'd be previewing a boxing match between Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. on Thanksgiving weekend, what would you have said?
Well, the zombie apocalypse is upon us, Hakeem, obviously. Yet somehow in this wackadoo year, this is, par for the course. Let's do it.
How much actual boxing should we expect on Saturday night?
I mean, look, that's the real kicker in this. If you're looking to put down the money, purchase this nostalgic circus attraction on pay-per-view, it's how much will the California State Athletic Commission allow these two to do exactly what they say they're going to do, which is to come in there and treat this like a real boxing match, throw punches, go for the knockout, go for the win. If you haven't been following closely, Andy Foster, the executive director of the California Commission, has been very upfront in saying, along with the rules you outlined, that there will not be a winner in this match. The fighters will not be allowed to go for the knockout. The first sign of blood or a cut, the fight will be stopped. There will be no judges officially, although the WBC has appointed some ex-fighters to be quote-unquote judging from home. Look, it's very confusing. There's a lot of what-ifs here. I think there's going to be a lot of pressure on referee Ray Corona's shoulders in terms of whether they will actually allow this to be what you're paying your money to see, which is two all-time greats getting back on the saddle one more time and letting their hands go. Now, I think to the credit of both fighters, they've both said, you can call it an exhibition all you want. We are training for this like it's a real fight. We're going for the win. We're going for the knockout. You just hope, Hakeem, first for the safety of both, but number two, that if this thing heats up, nobody jumps in and gets in the way of it.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch, and Mike Tyson looks incredible. He's ripped. I mean, aside from the $10 million payday, what's the motivation for Iron Mike Tyson to get back in the ring?
Yeah, it's certainly not money. I mean, he's been open and saying, I want to give back and give, most of his purse to charity, which is certainly commendable. I think it goes a lot deeper. Let's be honest about the second half of Mike's career. After coming out of prison for the rape conviction, he had some highs. He had a lot more lows, from the bite fight to multiple disqualifications, no contests, fights in which he quit on his stool. The second half of Tyson's great Hall of Fame career was just a shadow, obviously, of what the first time was. And we know Mike's dealt with drug and alcohol issues since retiring. He has cleaned himself up. He has really come to a really happy point in his life. So I think there is a weird element of redemption in here. When he retired in 2005, it wasn't so much that he retired, the sport retired him. He no longer had the heart or the love for it. He's happy right now. He's in great shape. He says he's 215 pounds for the first time since he was like 19 years old. I do believe there's something to the idea of being able to go out on your own terms. And this doesn't seem like it's a one-off for him. He wants to start off what he's calling the Legends Only League. He wants to keep fighting as long as he can. I commend him for this in a way. Is it wise for a 54-year-old to get back in there? Probably not. But here's a guy who's had a wild career in life, trying to sort of do something for good, bring some fun and back to the airwaves during an already crazy year. I'm cheering for Mike Tyson in that regard, but like we said off the top, this is anything but a normal fight on Saturday.
All right, so no William Hill odds for the fight. So, BC, if I gave you $100, who would you put the money on to win this exhibition bout? Mike Tyson, Roy Jones Jr.?
Yeah, I've seen some weird lines coming in, and everyone seems to be favoring Tyson with the puncher's chance. But I'm going to go, let's say, not so fast here. Is Tyson the bigger puncher? Yes, without question. But let's not forget a couple things. Roy Jones, an all-time great. He'd been competing actively as recently as 2 years ago. He won 12 out of his final 13 fights of his career. Here's a guy who's fought at cruiserweight most recently, did move up, 17 years ago and win a piece of the heavyweight title when Roy Jones beat John Ruiz. He's a capable fighter in there. Do you love Tyson's power when they actually do touch gloves and let it go? Of course you do. But he hasn't done much of anything physically in many years. And the idea of him hanging around for 8 rounds, should it get there, I don't like the look of that for a 54-year-old man, no matter what condition he's in. We may not have enjoyed the last 10 years of Roy Jones's pro career, but he's still fit. He's still got a little bit left in that tank. I like Roy Jones this one. I like him a lot, in fact.
All right. Well, you know what? You like Roy Jones Jr. Just for the sake of it, I'm going to go with Mike Tyson. I'm going to take the $100 you give me and put it on Mike Tyson. There we go. I mean,
let's bet our hair at this point, right? It's already bizarre world. Let's bet our hair on this fight.
I love it. Good stuff. Mike Tyson, Roy Jones Jr. Saturday night in LA. BC, thanks.